But from a positive perspective, reaching back into chapter 15, what's our responsibility? Abide. Don't abandon Christ, abide in Christ. That's our responsibility. And this, by the way, is very similar to what the Apostle Paul says about spiritual warfare in Ephesians chapter 6, verses 11 through 14. Remember that wonderful passage where the Apostle Paul gives us the illustration of armor and says that God has outfitted you with spiritual armor. And do you know why we have these gifts, this spiritual armor from the Lord? Well, Paul never says, you have this armor, now go on the offense. He never says, you have this armor, now go out there and win the battle. It's interesting. At least 3 times in those verses, the Apostle Paul says, you have this armor, now stand. You stand there. You have the armor to protect you. You stand there. The Lord will win the battle. It's your job to just stand there while the Lord wins the battle. Don't let Satan run you off of Christ. Ephesians 6:11 says, put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. Believer, that's what you've been called to in the face of persecution. To stand. To not abandon Christ. In fact, this helps us to reevaluate persecution entirely, doesn't it? The greatest threat of persecution is not that you'll lose all the things of this world. I trust that you're willing to do that because you sung hymn 53, A Mighty Fortress is Our God, just a few moments ago. I set you up for this. And you said to the Lord, let goods and kindred go. So I trust you don't care about those things in such a way that would prevent you from holding on to Christ. I trust even you would be willing to give your life to hold on to Christ because you sang this mortal life also. We send the bulletin out in advance. You should check those words before you just start singing them. This is not like the Apple agreement there where you just don't read it and hit agree. Okay? Losing your stuff, losing your life, that's not the greatest danger in persecution. It's losing your faith. D.A. Carson, commenting on this verse, said the greatest danger the disciples will confront from the opposition of the world is not death, but apostasy. What is the very worst thing that could happen to you, believer? It's not that you lose your life. It's that you abandon Christ and prove to never have been a believer. That's why our responsibility is don't fall away. Hold on to Christ. Abide in Him.